Good evening, everybody. It's me, Magus One here, alongside
DVS.
calling all the action of this Lich low limit table out of our Chaos Casino tonight.
It's been a great opportunity to have this Lich tournament because it gives a lot of the new ducklings and new people to the community an opportunity to really get involved during the big tournament in the spring. So you end up seeing a lot of new names alongside of some names that might have been in the Discord for a long time by now.
Not only that, but you also get to see a lot of the people that just barely made it, didn't make top eight, didn't make the brackets, like Min the Bait, our bubble person, the person that was on the bubble for the play-in race, came in just, I think, less than 5 seconds to. It was literally that close, or else they would actually have been in the top 8.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of familiar faces, even amongst the other groups that are playing for this Lich's low limit table tournament. And it'll be interesting again to see all of these new ducks, myself being one of them, really invest in the new tournament and come up against some of these big wigs in the later rounds.
Those ducks. A lot of them are very good. A lot of them are insanely good. I mean, go ahead.
If you're like me, you've probably been trolling YouTube for about a year before actually joining the community, which I would say this is a great time to get involved. Go ahead and just join the Discord, Final Fantasy Randomizer, and community is awesome. Really want to help you get involved and get you working with the game and all this.
I mean, I've been here since the first tournament. It has grown a lot since then.
So, see that each of our runners has chosen their main party. A lot of fighters, a lot of thieves, and we are already on.
So let's see what we have today. Opening spells, white magic. We have Cure 3.
It's always something you want to see. And Quake.
So we got basic healing and basic destruction. Well, AOE effects. So you want to say so? So what's that?
Quake might not be your favorite AOE effect because it's an all or nothing spell, but especially in the early game, it's probably going to help these guys get some quick levels at the beginning, take care of Garland up in Temple of Fiends, really get the game moving at the beginning for them.
Oh, I did not realize. We have Blurstone.
And do have Blurstone.
And a short sword +5. Ew, that is nice.
Oh, that's really going to carry them for the first bit of this game.
And cheap pro rings, at least they're at the normal stuff on that one. And gold bracelets +4.
Blurst is very much in their favor right now. Looks like we have Min the Mage as the first one up to Temple of Fiends, and he's going straight for Garland.
With those short swords, you could just... If the Quake doesn't hit, the sword's going to hit.
Absolutely. And we have Ragnarok comes up there second, but he's actually checking the chests first, getting a lot of gold in that first chest, and he'll be heading up to the second one.
And we see Min the Mage taking Chaos down. Sarah thanking him. The slab. And let's see here. The loot.
Decent items, but they're not really going to direct us anywhere at this point in the seed.
Oh, I have to say this because I just realized: is this even randomized? Sarah giving us the loot.
We do. One important thing to note is even though we have a free ship and a free bridge, we do have a loose canal. So one of the things you'll see our runners do is looking for a chest in that inner area, and instead of looking at incentive locations for that canal, you might see them run up to Matoya's Cave, Dwarf Cave, and last but not least, Marsh Cave.
Ooh, let's see, first level 2. Life is level 2, so everybody can learn that. It's got white magic, able to do that one. Lock and fire 2. So we have a decent, well, I won't say decent sweeper, but also that lock 2, I believe the fixes are on for that one, so auto hit.
Mm-hmm. It's a great spell for some of those really tanky bosses that you'll run into. It looks like right now, 3 of our 4 runners have defeated Garland. We have Min the Mage is already at the Pirates. Ragnarok's on his way over there. Neon Gray is just coming out of the castle, and Demon RHK is on his way to defeat Garland.
Fire 2 putting in some work, I believe. Although we have unsafe pirates, probably won't matter on that one.
Mm-hmm. But we do have unsafe pirates for this run, as this is a tournament very much open to beginners. Having unsafe pirates in one of your first tournament runs would not be a good time. And we have Min the Mage. Just left Vicky. Looks like he got the tail from defeating pirates.
Yep.
Again, is another item that's not really going to tell you where to go next.
It's not going to tell us where to go next, but it will give them at least a little bit of EXP. And ooh, Imps and Grimps unrunnable. That's a positive note because of that size of a pack. They will get a decent amount of gold from this, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. And we do have incredibly cheap silver bracelets in Provoca. Over +3 bracelets for only around 668 gold. I mean, that's a solid armor set that's going to carry you for a lot of that early game.
Very, very true. And we also have found gold bracelets already as well in Corneria, so that'll be nice too.
Mm-hmm.
At least as a positive note, they did not roll max price. This is the last few seasons I've seen, they've rolled max price.
Absolutely. We have Min the Mage as the first one to show up at Matoya. We have an Opal bracelet, 125 gold, and 417 gold. And that, he just used you can tell his experience in that particular move, because he saved at Provoca. He didn't save again on the way to Matoya so that he could reset back all the way back to Provoca in case the chest would have anything good.
Very true. Very true. Our runners have at least gotten an early, I'd say, hero run. Haven't really kept a count on that one, but it's been, decent amount of time to actually be able to go through that, which is going to be very useful for them.
Absolutely.
Now, Blurst weapons, do you want to help with explaining that, or should I take care of that one?
You go ahead and take care of that.
Well, from what I gather, if I recall correctly, it gives a plus anywhere between 1 to 5 positive or 1 to 5 negative, apart from normal. And I'll finish explaining that in a quick second. So we have Elflin. Fast Lit 3. Ooh, nice. In the Black Magic level 3 Sapid. We found the canal.
There's the canal in Dwarfs. That is a great pickup from In the Mage.
French Vanilla too, and Expert as well in level 3 White Magic.
And sorry to disappoint you, Dwight Satel in chat. Yeah, we're not going to March.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but Light 2 and Exit at level 4.
Alright, this is... roll this. We do want to have an entrance tournament for the guys, but you kind of have to have a bar. You don't want to set it too low for this first race. We've already seen a lot of AoE magic. We've seen very good and very cheap armor. We're seeing amazing spells. Canal is not in Marsh. These runners are probably going to be sprinting through this season. Looks like Min the Mage is heading off to Crescent Lake, while Neon Gray is facing his pirates. Ragnarok is just coming out of Elfland, and we have Demon RHK is finishing up in Provoca as well.
And I'll finish explaining what Blurst means. Blurst stands for Blessed and Cursed. For those D&D fans out there, you know what it is when something is a +1, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. Any piece of equipment that's got that one there means it's stronger. I believe it's up to 5, 5 absorb more for armor and 5 damage more for weapons. I'm not 100% on that one because I really haven't looked up the true mechanics to it. But as for the minuses, same thing, just reverse it. And answer the question in chat. Exit was slot 2 of white magic, I believe, in level 4.
Finn the Mage is on his way over to the Sages, who are in a beautiful circle for this particular seed, and he gets the crystal, which means he's going to have to find his way back and double dip into Matoya.
Oh god.
Oh my. Level 5 nuke.
Oh, and as Jat in chat is pointing out, that each point plus or minus is plus 3 to hit, plus 2 to damage, and plus 1 to hit for weapons.
One of the things that's bringing up, and it's been a conversation in the Discord, is now have to start thinking about weapons that you normally would just discard in the vanilla game or even just a typical seed. You have to give them more credence. So if you've got an ice sword -3, but a flame sword +2, normally you would just go straight to ice, but now you have to actually start thinking about how those plus and minuses are affecting your gameplay.
As a positive, at least it makes the weapons that the weapons and armor that normally don't see a lot of action able to be used.
Absolutely. We'll see how that affects some of our players. I mean, later in the game, we might run into some armors that are going to have some protections to them. But if you might end up finding yourself trying to fight between maybe a silver armor -5 and a lower silver armor, you might be finding yourself with a pro ring that has a negative balance to it, and maybe a lower level armor that doesn't have the same resistances to magic has a much better defense or absorb percent.
That is very, very true. It's a little bit to learn, but it's one of those things. A lot of the community members are all for it, and looks like Nia will pick up their canal.
I think at this point, all 4 of our runners have the canal, and I don't believe I saw any of them head down towards Marsh.
We probably won't see Marsh unless it's going to be as a gamble or as a, or unless it's last location.
We do have, in this particular seed set, we do not have any loose items besides the canal. So now that each of our runners has the canal, we're not going to expect them to necessarily open a significant number of chests until they find themselves comfortable with armor and their weapons. They're probably not going to be going out of their way to pick up any extra chests.
Do we have any incentivized items in the pool apart from the standard quest items?
Yes, we do. Yes, apart from the standard quest and main items, the 4 incentivized armor or weapon pieces we have are Thor's Hammer, Opal Cheerio, White Shirt, and Black Shirt. Those are the only 4 items or armors and weapons that are incentivized, which means that we have Loose Massa, Vorpal, Excal, ribbons. All of those are going to be spread throughout the land.
I forget whether or not that does allow for possible loose items, but considering the incentivized locations are all 4 Fiend Dungeons, Titan's Trove, Ordeals, Ice, not counting the others. God, my math is off right now to remember if not that would allow for loose items, but I could be wrong. And
I don't. Yes. I don't believe we have any loose items other than that 1 canal. And with Min the Mage getting the ruby, the crystal turn in, that opens up 2 more incentive location checks for him.
And as Yoshi just pointed out in the chat, yes, that does mean no loose items. But Demon RHK turning in their slab, and we'll probably see Min the Mage head over to Earth. Well, not so much Earth, but the Titan.
It seems like a lot of these runners are following a similar path. You're seeing a lot of them heading off to Provoca, then they're heading to Dwarfs to get their canal, couple stopping through Elfland, then over to Malmond and Crescent Lake to kind of finish up that inner sea. And I wonder where we're going to start having that big route divergence. As these runners start getting more transport, I wonder who's going to make that first decision to get off to an uncommon location.
At present, with what we have available, it's really pretty linear. You only have really Earth Cave and Marsh open to you as far as dungeons go, and people's opinions on Marsh or diving Earth, and knowing that you're going to have to double dip.
Well, we do have access to OnRack, but without having the Oxyale, I doubt that a runner's going to try to go up there and see if there's potentially a vendor item out in OnRack. I would, like you said, expect them to start doing the top half of Earth Cave.
That or Marsh. Depends on where you finish up once you get the Ruby. As I could see some of our runners possibly make the choice to Marsh, but that's a coin flip on that one. And it looks like Demon RHK will be the first to go feed the Titan.
That's interesting, because Min the Mage was the first one to pick up that Ruby, but Demon RHK being the first one to actually feed up the Titan, that might give him a leg up when it comes to either transport, maybe he'll find a weapon or good armor. That's going to help him out in the seed. Looks like Min's coming up right behind them.
Also, munch. But in all honesty, Min the Mage stopped by Provoke. Oh my God, floater!
Oh, he picked up the floater in Titans? That
Yep.
is a great pickup for Demon RHK. We have Min the Mage only seconds behind him, but that having an early floater is this was already a fast seed. This is going to go lightning fast.
I'll also add that, Zardia given us the herb, and the reason Min the Mage took a tiny bit is he took a side trip to Elfland to pick up more spells.
If I remember correctly, he didn't go by Elfland after he left Provoca. I think he went straight up to Toya to turn in Crystal. I could see that causing a little bit of a delay in his run. Looks like Ragnarok's coming up on his in check. We have Neon Gray, who's just leaving Matoya at the moment.
Also, munch.
At this point, the canoe is going to be at some sort of incentive location. And at this, with the flags that we have, the canoe is still required to actually turn in that floater for the airship. So
Okay.
I can...
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing our runners try to turn in that herb and pray that that herb turns into the canoe.
With what is available, the canoe will either be an Earth Cave or the herb at present, based off of what we have access to. Now, if either of those turns into the Oxyale, then it might be in Sea Shrine. Well,
yeah.
Or the combination of Chime and Cube to give us access to the Sky location incentivized. But to give a rundown, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that this is going to... I think that turn-in is going to really decide whether or not this seed stays nice to these runners, or if this seed kind of is its evil side, giving them a fetch quest or leading them into some high-level dungeon before they're able to actually start building up some levels.
And Demon RHK delivering the herb and gets the canoe.
I guess that answers that question.
So, math is gonna be harsh here. Like, thank you, Twitch. Sub 25 minutes floater is what I'm calling for our runners, or at least Min the Mage or Demon RHK. with Ragnarok once they turn that in, probably as well.
I see a lot of these runners heading straight for that floater. Yeah, sub 25 floater for sure.
Also, to give a rundown on the incentivized as far as the dungeons go, the vampire chest in Earth, the flame dragon chest in Volcano, the chest that's just before Curry, the vanilla adamant chest, if I recall correctly, in Sky, which is Sky 2, bottom left corner, if I recall correctly. And then the Sea Shrine is the vanilla slab chest with the mermaids.
Correct. And a quick shout out to Neon Gray's channel. They throwed up a nice picture of our Titan as they fed the Titan. And it really, at this point, the only free items that we've been getting are either items of the late game or the fetch quest. We had the canal was in Dwarf Cave. The Ages provided us the crystal provided us the ruby, and the ruby provided us access to the herb, which eventually led us to the canoe. And I believe the ruby directly led to the floater, which was in Titans, and the herb was a gift from Sarda.
That is correct. Also, just double checking our spells. Cure 4 is bottom slot, if I'm reading our notes correctly from our trackers, for White Magic, as well as Ice 2, Fire 3, Bane, and Ice 3 for our Black Magic. So, I forget the spell permissions on that one, whether or not Cure 4 will be learnable or not.
It looks like Demon RHK is our first runner to get his floater, and they are going directly to Volcano.
With that Volcano Armory, with a lot of items, it's going to be useful, though. Okay, I have to ask here. You just got your floater. It's about less than 25 minutes in. It's been an amazing seed. Do you feel behind yet?
I think that's a good question. I think at this point, if I were racing this, at this point, I would be asking myself, what little mistake did I make? If I'm, for example, if I'm in the mage and I'm thinking, oh no, I had to double dip Matoya, I'm wondering if other runners decided to skip Matoya or had to double dip like he did, and that's when that mental game is going to start playing on the run.
Also, thank you to one of our two amazing trackers, Dan Fidyoshi, for pointing out that yes, Cure 4 is Red Wizard learnable, so once they promote, they can learn Cure 4.
In the mage, the second to grab the floater, and it looks like they are flying around maybe to Earth Cave?
Earth Cave or to promote?
He's heading to Melmond. Oh, he's picking up magic.
Spells.
Sure. And Demon RHK has made his way to the armory.
Ice -5. That's feels a bit bad for your ninja when you promote. If you decide to promote, as the ice shield is a ninja's best shield, but it is what it is. And yeah, Neon Gray just about to pick up their canoe.
In Demon RHK, running into a trap tile that might be good for them. With those rock galls providing a ton of experience, it's really a matter of what they roll for their physical defense and how much HP they have, whether or not they're going to stick there and run the grind tile for a while, or if they're just going to sprint through the rest of that volcano.
And looks like in the mage, being near the Zardia / Charizardia / pick your favorite choice for that. And pro cape on Demon RHK's side. We'll probably see a promotion coming up real soon on Mid the Mage's side.
I can see that since already flying around Cardia, and Ragnarok following closely behind Demon RHK. And I was thinking of this going into this particular race. I think one of the biggest differences between some of these veteran runners and some of the newer runners is really the handling of picking up these chests. Whether they're going to full clear particular dungeons or if they're going to pick up just items along the way. It'll be interesting to see how that changes for each runner as they go further through this.
Very, very true.
Ooh, a ribbon, -5 though. Well, Demon RHK picking up a ribbon at turnaround there in Volcano above the armory. Fortunately for them, though, the ribbon already only has one absorb, so I don't think the -5 is going to affect them very much.
No, but I have to say, Min the Mage finding a gold bracelet in the Cardia Islands area, which will be amazingly good, considering that the gold bracelet did roll a little expensive, but not that expensive. Still, that will help out. It looks like they will be promoting really soon.
I don't think any runner is going to complain about a free gold bracelet as they fly around. And in Ragnarok, running into a little bit of trouble on that Golem trap tile. And he's quitting out, and he's going to just take another dive and lose that experience.
And it looks like Demon RHK is making their way towards the Agama floor.
And Ragnarok heading directly back to the armory.
Is that the defense sword? That
It is the defense sword.
Because I'm not sure of the abbreviations with the, custom, with the actual adjustment to names on that one.
I mean, it's like he picked up the defense sword. I actually missed where he got that from.
That would be in the Cardia Island.
So that early Cardia play paid off for Min the Mage. It looks like Neon Gray is following in those footsteps as well. You have two runners who immediately went up to Cardia and two runners who immediately went to the volcano. We'll see as we go down how that particular decision is going to affect our runners as they head into the mid-game.
And the rod from the actual Lefenish.
So now Min the Mage has two full dungeons to clear. He has the opportunity to go down to Earth Cave and defeat Lich, or head directly to Volcano.
Actually, 3 dungeons with the Ice Cave on that one. I don't remember where or if we have seen Warp. Does anybody remember on that one?
Looks like level 5 is where we would find Warp. Potentially in the first slot. And if that's so, if I'm running a Black Mage, before I go anywhere near ice, I'm definitely thinking about picking up that Warp.
Indeed, indeed.
It looks like Demon RHK fighting a pack of Mudgulls. Ragnarok still clearing out the armory room. And Neon Gray working on reallocating all that equipment he just picked up in Cardia.
And Neon Gray also checking stats because I know it's a little harder when you're unsure of the burst, for your first or second time. I know I've only done it once or twice, but even then I've checked the stat screen myself every now and then over it. And Min the Mage resetting out of a Tyro fight.
Even in Neon Gray's position, I mean, you're looking at a Saber 5 and an Ice Sword -1 or 2. You have to start asking yourself, what is the vanilla damage levels for some of these lower level swords? And if we're adding 10 to the attack number from a +5, how close is it to that Ice Sword? So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of our runners doing that status check as they pick up weapons and armor that have been blurred either plus or minus.
I know the trick I've learned is it a positive number? If the answer is yes, take a look at it. If it's from that range of like Ice Sword, Sun Sword, or like, those medium endgame, those medium ranged weapons, is like, okay, what do I know about it? Does it seem like it'll be a better weapon than what I've got?
Absolutely. Demon RHK finding his way to the vanilla agama tile, runs into sea snakes and decides to nope out of that and head directly towards the incentive item in the volcano.
And Min the Mage checking the Hall of Giants trap chest, but
Ooh, Garmadou. Let's see what they roll on that HP and they have casting stun.
looks like they are going to go down to a Lit 3. So this is not only an excellent source of EXP, and some excellent gold on that one.
I can see Min the Mage sitting here for quite some time trying to figure out what he wants with levels, and it looks like Ragnarok is making his trek Cardia Isle to pick up additional equipment and weapons, probably because of the resistance he found down in the volcano.
And looks like Demon RHK dealing with a pack of vampires and whiz vamps. In the Mage going back to Corneria. I really don't ever know if I ever pronounced that name correctly. Buying some houses. We're going to see a grind. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a grind from in the Mage.
Especially if they're picking up heal pots and they're filling up heal pots, pures, so forth. That might be a preparation for a long grind.
And while, I
was going to say, speaking as a duckling coming into this community, I have to say it's been really hard with the different namings of each place based on the key was found as the vendor item in the vanilla vendor location. So forget my talk about words. Ragnarok is the first to pick up the key.
So the caravan on that one. I missed what Demon RHK picked up from the fire incentivized location chest. According to the tracker, it doesn't look like. Oh wait, it's the cube.
I was going to say it looks like the cube. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the chime at this moment, so it doesn't open up anything new for them. But it's nice to know that once they find the chime, that they can go right up to Mirage and up to Tiamat.
And it looks like Demon RHK will be our first runner to attempt a fiend fight.
In the meantime, Ragnarok's heading into Waterfall. Min the Mage is grinding away at that Germedusa tile, and we find Neon Gray in Elfland going through magic. As noted in chat, we do have each of our runners really in a different location at the moment. We're really starting to see that route divergence. One in Earth, one in Volcano. We've got one flying around, one in Waterfall. This really is, who knows, these particular decisions are going to end up changing the endgame. Checking it on Demon RHK fighting Carry. Still has all 4 light warriors on their feet, taking advantage of the heal staff picked up, and looks like he's taking his time trying to figure out the right spells to cast to fight Carry. Not doing a lot of damage with that fighter.
See, I couldn't see the actual that one because I had to refresh the stream. Looks like going for Fog 2, some Lit 3. See Lit 3 coming out for, couldn't see on that one. Carry cast hold. Regular Lit coming out for 93 damage. Swing from that thief. Misses. Opting for some Harm 3, hoping to buff up the party a bit. Sorry, Fog. Fog 2. Ugh.
Interesting choice on the Fog 2 versus taking the more offensive spell, especially considering all four light warriors are currently on their feet. Doesn't look like Carry's been hitting for too much.
Also, while Demon RHK is fighting Carry, Neon Gray is in Ordeals.
I really like the Ordeals play, especially when you're in that like early mid game. You get some nice smaller encounters that have a good amount of experience, and it's a nice place to start getting some of those walking levels. Ooh, Blizzard coming out from carry. That's not something.
Also, a bottle pickup from the robot on Ragnarok's side.
I like the suggestion in chat of quad X for carry. I'm not sure. I didn't see. Oh, quad X in level 3. Quad X, it's not always the spell that's your number one go-to, but especially if you're in the place that Demon RHK is in, quad X could be a lifesaver.
I think probably the fighter. I can't tell what's up. It says dark on them, but usually dark still allows you to attack, so I'm not sure on that one.
I think he might be stunned, and it's just covering the stun with the dark signal. We have Neon Grey and Ordeals. We have Min the Mage diving Earth. We have Demon RHK fighting Carry, and Ragnarok in the Waterfall. And ask for 4 more different locations.
Adamant pickup for Neon Grey, Carry down for Demon RHK, and XCal, I think it was positive XCal, like at least a 3, on Min the Mage's side, and Ragnarok going out of Waterfall with the bottle.
I mean, essentially every runner's decision wound up helping them. It's just a matter of,
and as
a matter in the long run.
And as Chad is pointing out, that was an XCal plus 5.
XCal plus 5. XCal is not one of the favored weapons in Final Fantasy Randomizer, but I think for this seed with a XCal plus 5, that's going to do a lot of damage.
The main reason why XCal is not as favored as the Masamune or the Vorpal is namely because it doesn't have the best crit rate, and also doesn't work as well on the final, on Chaos. But it's something that you will swing if you can't find anything better, as it's still good. Crown pickup for Min the Mage right after that speed bump.
I think, especially in where we are in the game, Min the Mage definitely would want that XCal. It's going to take advantage of those weaknesses of the enemies. The plus 5 is just going to tear into the damage, or tear into their HP. And I could see them running with XCal for quite some time, until maybe they find the Vorpal or Massa, depending on their plus or minus even.
I'm also not sure which of the teams they're on, whether or not they're on Team Vorpal or Team Massa.
That's a great question.
I know, for me, I'm on team of whatever gets the job done. I've got no favorite, between the two, because I've swung both and have helped. It's helped me out on that one. Also, Demon RHK finally getting the opportunity to promote.
And Neon Grey getting disappointed with his adamant turn, or with their adamant turn in. Their adamant goes into a Thor -1. As nice as it is to have that Thor with the lightning cast, you don't really want that to be the item that you pick up from a fetch quest.
I will note that the Thor is not only white mage equipable, but also, knight equipable, so it is useful on that one.
Absolutely. Ooh, and Ragnarok picking up a ribbon in Keylok Dwarves.
Also picking up a heal helm, which is also useful.
Absolutely. And Demon RHK taking their trek over to Cardia for promotion and checking out these chests in Cardia Isles. As noted in chat, Neon Grey heading into the top of Earth, looking at those the Hall of Giants, picking up the Gur Medusa tile, just like Min the Mage did earlier in the run. As Min the Mage is towards Lich. And we actually have 2 runners in the same place for, I want to say, the first time since really they picked up the canal. These runners have been going completely different directions.
And looks like when the maid starts with a fast, before the fast even goes off, I believe that Excal basically just destroyed Lich. So at 37 minutes, let's call it 55 seconds, when the maid lights their first orb.
Now, looking at the items they have available, then the mage still has the option of the volcano. Just picked up the TNT, and if that TNT leads to the Oxyale, I wouldn't be surprised if Min the Mage forgoes the volcano and jumps right to Sea Shrine.
While we see a TNT tournament, we also see Ragnarok running through ice. Ice, baby. Ice, baby.
How do you feel about the ice play versus doing a redive into the volcano? And by the way, the TNT does turn into the Oxyale. We'll see where Min the Mage goes after picking that up.
For this one, I'm a fan of checking ice if you're going for the let's check all the incentivized locations first. Ragnarok opting to go through ice, I think, versus diving volcano just because of levels. That one.
Well, ice also is known for the number of trap tiles it has, specifically that eye trap tile. With trap tiles being randomized, there's no guarantee to find something nice. But if Ragnarok can find a nice trap tile to grind off of, might see him settle in for a couple levels before rediving volcano.
The nicest thing is that they also have the key, so we will probably see some key lock chests in a bit. Also, Min the Mage dipping into volcano.
Ragnarok using warp strats instead of the typical move behind the incentive chest to warp, making the decision to go in front of the incentive chest so that he can still figure out what the trap tile is going to be. Picking up the chime.
So at the 40-minute mark, to give a quick rundown, the King gave us a slab, Princess Era gave us the vanilla loot, Binky gave us, the tail, we found the canal loose in the dwarves, which led to, I'm trying to remember on that one.
Well, that gave us the option to the sages, which gave us the crystal. Crystal led to the ruby. Ruby led to the floater, and the floater, well, I should say, and after getting the ruby from the Titan, we got the herb from Sarda, which ended up in our canoe, I believe.
That is correct. And with staff, +2 on Ragnarok's side, that's a decent casting item, if I recall correctly, giving them Fire 2. Where's that the Mage Staff?
I believe Mage Staff is Fire 2 and Wiz Staff is Confuse. Confuse actually has a higher percentage chance on hitting carry. So you might see Ragnarok pull out that Wiz Staff if he decides to go for a carry fight.
Very true. While Neon Grey still dealing with those Garmadusas, the nicest thing is that does give a decent amount of EXP. It does give a lot of cash. And looks like Ragnarok is going back to the volcano.
Demon RHK making the decision to go to Ordeals.
So we got 2 of our runners, both in the volcano. We have Neon Grey grinding some. Always a good option, as this should cover most of your gold, and it'll also give you some levels.
It actually looks like Min the Mage and Ragnarok happen to be both in the volcano. Min the Mage deciding to check that back room with a large number of chests, but very out of the way. Meanwhile, we'll see what Ragnarok does.
It's technically a greed chest in a sense, in the sense of it's like Sharknado room. It's got a lot of chests in one area. It's worth going if you feel like going there.
We'll see if Ragnarok skips it. I wonder if Ragnarok's starting to feel some of the pressure, and a nice virtual high five between Ragnarok and Minden. And the mage forgoing the vanilla Agama tiles altogether. Meanwhile, Ragnarok finds an Agama of his own, but not on one of the actual Agama trap tiles.
Sadly on that one. But as a positive note, I'll also add, since our PR runners are headed towards their... Well, Minamay is headed towards their second Fiend fight. Ragnarok headed towards the first. I'll remind everybody to please follow our runners, Neon Grey, Min the Maids, Demon RHK, and Ragnarok 784. They were putting on an amazing race. This is the first of the... This is basically the first round of the Lich lower limit table as part of the Chaos Casino. So hopefully you're all enjoying this.
And for those who are unfamiliar, the way that Lich's low limit table is set up is actually pools of 4. So this is the fourth group of 4 that has been racing in this first round. The other 3 groups racing earlier this week. And for round 2, you're going to find all of the first place winners of the 4 groups facing against each other next week. We'll have a group of first place, a group of second place, a group of third place, and a group of fourth place. You're going to see a lot of equally skilled runners running against each other next week.
Because essentially with this, it's not who wins that advances, it's via points. 4 points for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth, and Min the Maid just picks up their cube.
It looks like Ragnarok is still the only runner with a chime at the moment.
So I was incorrect with the points. It's 10 for first, 7 for second, 5 for third, and 2 for fourth.
I believe the way the tournament is set up, each of these runners is going to get 3 full runs in before we hit an elimination round. So we're going to get a lot of nice rounds running for each of these. Well, I should say some of these more experienced players, some of these veteran players, and some who just love the game and love playing Final Fantasy Randomizer. Looks like Demon RHK just did his feign check. Ragnarok, can't quite tell where he is at the moment. And it looks like Min the Mage might be heading towards Onrak.
Going to be about picking up their key, and Ragnarok headed towards their carry fight.
I see, yeah.
And Demon RXK finding a Tyro, opting to run away. Boo, hiss.
I mean, it's what, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. It's time for some meat. I mean, you gotta chop off that steak when it comes.
Again, I'm on team. Whatever gets the job done. I mean, I've grinded Tyros before. If they're really harsh, then yeah, I'll run. But if I've got the time to do it, I will do it. If I need the experience, or I think I can, get them down very fast.
Looks like Min the Mage heading up to Waterfall before heading to Onrak. Ragnarok finishing off Carry, Demon RHK and Provoca, Neon Grey and Canary.
Min the Mage is opting to check Waterfall first, so that way they don't have to make a second trip, since they do have the Oxyale. It makes it, pretty fast on that one.
I really like the Waterfall check before Onrak. With Onrak, you're going to get a lot of, 6, 7 enemy encounters, whereas in Waterfall, you're typically in the 2 to 3 enemy range. I feel like Waterfall is just an easier place to get some of those extra levels to prepare you for Kraken.
And to give I forgot what I was going to say on that one.
Happens to the best of us.
I do not remember if or not we've seen a bottle tournament or not. I do know, however, that once when the maids find their chime, they will be in go mode. And I believe right now we are in no mode since we have seen the chime.
The chime is the ice cavern item.
Also, hooray!
Hooray! And a little bit of disappointment. Game in RHK not even giving dual credence to hooray. I just think the disappointment of receiving Thor -1 took all the joy out of them.
Also, apparently the Bottled Fairy gave us the white shirt.
A white shirt might not be an item needed to complete the game, but especially in these seeds where we're not seeing a lot of white mages, white shirt could mean the difference between life and death in Topher.
Very, very true.
And Min the Mage diving C. He's our first runner getting into C, deciding to go mermaid side first. And you've got to imagine that they're hoping to pick up that chime on mermaid side.
Very true. But as we know, it is most likely going to be the black shirt or I forget the other casting item.
I believe it's the Opal Cheerio is the other item that we're missing. It's non-incentivized. Sorry, that's not a key item.
So it will be one of those two. Then
I'm seeing on Min the Mage's tracking, which by the way, quick shout out to our trackers, Jonathan Yoshi and Jay Scheidel. Doing a great job keeping us up to date on everything that's going on in the particular run, especially when there are runners going at the same time.
Very true. Although no runner is in no mode, yet we as an audience do know where every item is.
Yeah, that's correct. And Min the Mage, our first to dive C. We have Ragnarok, our first to dive Mirage. And it looks like Ragnarok just skipped Mirage 1 altogether.
I do not remember what they have as an endgame weapon, if not they've picked up Excal, but we find the Opal Cheerio as our item in C Shrine.
Yeah, Opal Cheerio is not one of those you're going to get super excited about, but you'll notice Min the Mage dropping that on their black mage, who I didn't see any armor on them to begin with, so it looks like that might be a huge armor buff to that black mage.
I mean, I think it was an Opal -5, so it's better than nothing. Also, Neon Gray picking up their cube. And ooh! Massa -4!
So now we have Massa -4 versus Excal +5. I want to see in chat, if you have Massa -4 versus Excal +5, which one do you go with?
There's no question. You go with Excal, however, you still keep the Massa and throw it on another party member.
I like that idea. You know, dropping in. I'm seeing Excal here in chat. Even Min the Mage, you can easily drop down that Massamoon down to one of their mages just to give that extra melee damage during a fight.
And Neon Gray being our second runner to enter the ice cave.
In chat, I like Stu729 saying Excal and hope you find a Vorpal. And and even if you pick up the Vorpal, with these blurst items, never know if that Vorpal's going to end out in the plus or minus side. It really does make a difference to these runners, whether or not they... Ooh. And Demon RHK picking up their X-Cal. Really very excited about that before going in to fight Lich down in Earth Cave.
As a positive note, on Ragnarok's side, picking up their black shirt, although did roll a curse tonight. If they find a katana, since a lot of our runners did raid thieves, not 100% on that one, but I know the very least Demon RHK did. It's hard to tell with the sprite shuffle on that one. But if they find a katana and that rolled halfway decent, we will probably see any of our runners that have a ninja reviving them and swinging that actual katana.
Absolutely. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the benefit of that katana is the high crit rate, similar to the high crit rate of the Vorpal, though I believe the katana has a higher base damage than Vorpal.
That is correct. It has the same crit rate as Vorpal, but higher damage, which is why it's been nicknamed Vorpal's older brother. Also, get your blessed RNGs in chat, because Ragnarok 784 is just about to get to the Bridge of Destiny.
We had Neon Gray pick up their cube out in Ice Cave as well. And really, for Min the Mage, it's going to be a decision of where do they go next after Sea Shrine. And let's again see those drop those bless RNGs down in chat for Ragnarok. Fighter. I saw one enemy and got a little excited there, but nope, just a fighter.
Also, Demon RHK picking up their crown. And we'll be headed down towards Lich momentarily. Oh no. Min the Maid's taking a wipe just before Kraken.
Oh, I didn't see earlier. Based on their routing, it looks like, did they save after going up to Mermaid, or did they run directly to the Kraken side?
I do not remember. Also, Ragnarok trying to brack Tia, missing, swinging that. Trying to brack again, missing, trying a third time, ineffective, swinging again, opting for lit 3, sorry, brack again, ineffective, swinging again, 4 hits, 40 damage, brack again, ineffective, taking down one of those, I think the red mages, brack ineffective, swinging again, brack, another brack comes out, ineffective, another brack comes out, ineffective, swinging for 4 hits, could not see the damage. I do not know if Ragnarok 784 has X-Cal or not, as I think they took a fighter, but remember, anyway, brack again, miss, brack again, hits!
Finally! Ragnarok getting no love from Tiamat on those break casts.
And yes, Min the Mage went down to a pack of, I think it was lobsters just before Kraken, sadly.
Ragnarok joins Min the Mage with 2 orbs lit, Demon RHK with 1 orb lit, shortly to be 2, and Neon Gray at the moment with 0 orbs lit. Looks like Ragnarok's heading directly to Earth Cave. I wouldn't be surprised if he go-moded straight through Earth Cave.
More than likely, although I do not know what they were swinging for a weapon.
Yeah, I haven't seen whether or not they have a solid endgame weapon yet. And thanks again to our trackers. We do know that Mermaid contains the Masamune, and at this point, I highly doubt Ragnarok's going anywhere near Mermaids.
I could not see what Neon Gray just grabbed. It looked like an actual endgame weapon, but I could not read that.
It looks like for endgame weapons, we have Masamune is in Mermaids, but it's got a -4. We have a defense -2 in Cardia. We have X-Cal +5 in Earth. And I know I've seen at least one katana as we've gone through, but I don't remember the plus or minus roll. Neon Gray heading up to the maze on their way to the Bridge of Destiny is Min the Mage heads towards Kraken, Min RHK for the Ice Incentive, Ragnarok 784 heading towards the Vampire.
And looks like Min the Mage is dipping out of there, probably having a few nasty encounters on that one.
Yeah, they might have to get some of that MDef up or again some of those protection armor to survive that last little bit of Sea Shrine.
And it looks like Ragnarok 784 is going to be missing out on their X-Cal +5. Although picking up their crown right now.
And we have a War Mech on Neon Gray. Let's see if they decide to take it or run. It looks like Neon Gray is going to take the War Mech fight.
It is a great source of EXP on that one.
Now, no surprise, Neon Gray taking their time trying to figure out their War Mech strategy. For those of you who are newer to the game, War Mech happens to be a random enemy in the game that is only found on the Bridge of Destiny, but happens to have higher defense and hit than pretty much any other boss in the game, save maybe Chaos, depending on, with Randomizer, how their HP and hit percentages roll.
It's essentially the super boss of Final Fantasy 1.
Absolutely. You've played Final Fantasy VII and saw Ruby Weapon or Emerald Weapon. War Mech was their brain father, so to speak, the ancient ancestor of these super bosses in Final Fantasy.
And it is also the holder of all 4 nuclears in the game normally.
And normally is the key word, as we've spread some of those nuclears out to other enemies throughout the land. And Neon Gray still, we have Crack coming out of War Mech, taking down at least 2 of Neon Gray's party. And there's Rub taking out the last one. Neon Gray getting wiped by War Mech from a Crack and a Rub.
Ouch. Well, Ragnarok 784 turning in the actual crown to get the TNT.
And we're seeing Neon Gray immediately re-dive Mirage. I can imagine after that you got to feel a little defeated, but at this point you just have to run through.
An hour in, not having a actual orb yet, you do feel a bit behind, and Ragnarok trying to land on the sea. Sadly, this is not Final Fantasy 3 on the NES. Hooray!
I don't remember what we get from this TNT.
The Oxyale.
The Oxyale. Is that put Ragnarok in go mode? Picking up that Oxyale?
Yep. Ragnarok is our first runner in go mode at 1 hour. Let's just call it 1 minute. Ragnarok is our first runner in go mode.
And having had the opportunity to play with Ragnarok a couple times, I can imagine Ragnarok is not going to stop whatsoever on their way to Kraken and then off to Topher.
However, I do have to admit, I believe Ragnarok does not have any good in-game weapon, although finding Temper.
Temper's a great pickup. It is at level 7, but it is a great pickup that gives you a little bit more confidence going into the end game. Neon Gray already back up to the so they're going to be at Bridge of Destiny round 2 within the next couple seconds here. Now, Magius, I have to ask.
Sure. What's up?
Winning? Who's winning?
I'd firmly put at present Ragnarok in the lead. However, they don't really have the best endgame weapon, so they're going to have to dive Topher and hope for, a halfway decent Topher, so that way they can get through it. So I believe they're just on the defense sword.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of those decisions for these runners. In the Mage and Demon RHK, hard to say who's in the lead between the two of them. But as we head into Topher, the difference between your weapons and armor going into Topher mean the difference between 1 dive or 3 or 4 dives.
And I completely missed that Neon Gray does have the Volcano Orblet, the Fire Orblet, so this will be headed towards their second orb.
And Tiamat's not an easy orb to light, and we'll see what strats they use. It looks like I'm seeing some Brack strats come out.
And wow! Every runner loves that. First turn, getting the initiative, and immediately getting Brack off.
But compared to the run that Ragnarok had with Tiamat, I want to say Ragnarok threw out about 10 different Bracks before getting one to land. Neon Gray picking up the first one. And Demon RHK picking up Power Bonk in Ice Cave. Another one of those items that can give you a leg up in the late game. Most
definitely. Well, it looks like in the Mage, I'd say if it comes down to Topher deciding, the winner, it's going to come down to in the Mage's extra levels plus X-Cal plus 5 versus Ragnarok just getting in there with a very, very, very huge time lead.
Yeah. And again, you're going to see if it comes down to Topher, whether Topher is nice and easy to walk through, or if we get wall after wall after wall trying to run down through Topher. And it looks Neon Gray does pick up their rod as well down in the.
And it looks like Ragnarok is also trying to see about finding an endgame weapon, realizing that, oh god, I'm almost I've almost got everything like that. I might need a better endgame weapon than the defense sword. So here's hoping that Ragnarok finds something.
Now, if you're someone like me and you're trying to figure out, what classes does Ragnarok have? Aegis, maybe you can help me, because, again, kind of new to the whole thing. How do we figure, what's up with all of these different sprites that we're seeing on this?
They are purely cosmetic, just like a lot of the other randomizers, like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past. I don't know if Super Metroid has it yet or not, but this is purely cosmetic, and it is part of the fun percent.
I love fun percent, and that's where you'll see the versus Pyro flags, as well as changing some of the names and pellets.
As well as turning off the flashing for, by the way, we're sorry for all of our fans that, this does bother on that one, but we do have a flag for that one. At present, it is optional on that one.
It's by far one of my favorite flags and Ragnarok thing into Kraken. And another sprite change. Ragnarok turning into Ultros.
But the problem is Ultras always, makes you have to run. Going for Brack, and apparently gets an early Brack.
An early Brack from the replaced Terra sprite, it looks like, from Final Fantasy.
I believe that is a red mage, because I saw them actually cast Life 2. And I believe, since they can cast Brack, yeah, that's a red mage.
Red mages for those Terras. Is that a cloud sprite for the fighter? Now that I look at it, it looks like a cloud sprite.
If it's not Cloud, then it's what's their name from Tactics.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Great call out to Tactics, by the way.
Tactics, an amazing, amazing, amazing Final Fantasy game.
Absolutely one of my favorites. And we have Demon RHK making their way to the Bridge of Destiny as Ragnarok has all 4 orbs lit. you'll see Ragnarok start preparing for Topher, and that's, I think, part of why you see Ragnarok heading to Cardia locked to get these 6 chests here. Just pray for an endgame weapon.
Yep. Let's see. Anything good? Pure. 86 gold. Nope.
Nothing but disappointment.
So when we get them in for the interview, hopefully they won't be annoyed that they walked by an X-Cal +5.
Yeah, and it was one of those chests that's pretty much directly in your way in Earth Cave. It's a tiny detour, but I could see if you feel like you're behind, not wanting to take that couple second detour out to pick up that chest. And Demon RHK heading towards Tiamat to light their 3rd orb. We have Min the Mage in Sky and Neon Gray heading down to Earth.
And
3 of those runners hitting their 3rd orb.
And we found the Bane Sword in its vanilla dungeon. Rent's vanilla and on the same floor too.
Bane Sword's definitely a good pickup. Definitely better earlier in the game than late in the game. But it is a nice, again, one of those items that's just nice to have around with you. Let's look at Demon RHK here. Using nuke strats, looks like they're going damage for Tiamat as opposed to our other runners who decided to use Brack strats.
And answer quickly question in chat. I believe Ragnarok has 2 red mages, a black mage, and a fighter.
And Ragnarok also validating his run with a flame sword and flame armor. If you have fighters in your party, that's a nice pickup if you don't have some of that late game armor you're praying for throughout the seed. And Demon RHK continuing to just try to and there he goes. Tiamat goes down with a nuke, and we have Demon RHK, the 2nd runner, to light their 3rd orb.
True. And opting to please the crowd by trying to get rid of a T-Rex. If I recall correctly from something I learned earlier, the highest EXP overworld encounter.
Yeah, I'm going to take your word for that. I know T-Rexes are one of those things you definitely want to see. And Min the Mage finding 4 rock galls, too. That's a nice load of EXP. Looks like Neon Gray... Neon Gray having and Neon Gray gets wiped in Earth Cave. Looks like they got stun-locked.
Stunlock is still always a thing. I don't remember how many ribbons they have off the top of my head.
I want to say we've seen 2. Our wonderful trackers, again, shout out to Jonathan Yoshi and Jay Scheidel. Wonderful job tracking for us today. We have ribbon 1 in Volcano, ribbon 2 in Dwarf, and we have yet to find a 3rd ribbon. Now, that 3rd ribbon is not incentivized, so your guess is as good as mine.
Also, Demon RHK picking up their TNT. As soon as they turn in that TNT, they will be in go mode. Also, get to Blessed RNGs in chat. Min the Mage is on the Bridge of Destiny.
Looks like Min the Mage also in go mode as well. So we have Ragnarok in Topher, Min the Mage in go mode, Demon RHK now in go mode, and Neon Gray finishing up Earth. Chat says those oozes are deadly in Earth Cave. And what on earth is Ragnarok's screen?
I think it's a speed pump.
And was that nuke that came out of the speed bump?
Yes, that was.
Ragnarok disrespecting Lich 2, and Lich 2 disrespects in turn.
I believe... and nuclear as well.
Oh, and we have our roadblock in Lich 2 in Topher. I mean, we were talking about speed bumps earlier. Oh, and he did pick up life on that fighter.
A veteran play. A veteran play.
Absolutely a veteran play. If you're Ragnarok right now, what are you thinking?
Power 12 in the early game on this one. I'm either feeling I gotta go for it, and if Topher is gonna stop me, then Topher's gonna stop me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I feel like with this seed, you got to be pretty good about yourself diving Topher at 112. I could see him being a little bit more willing to take a risk, maybe if this was in the 130 to 140 range.
And nuke comes out for 111. I didn't notice how much the other nuke was for. Let's see, opting for some fast on that night. 2 hits, could not see the damage, but it looked like a lot. 4 hits, but Carry 2 goes down. Very light on the HP for Carry 2.
Carry 2 turning out to be more of the speed bump than Lich 2 was for Ragnarok as they dive deeper into Topher. And Min the Mage looking for another rematch with Sea Shrine to try to take down Kraken.
While Neon Gray is just to Lich 1. So let's see, opting for some nuke. Some more nuke. Lich 1 having fast. So that earlier. Swing. It's like 6 hits and 274. Nuke goes off. Couldn't see that one. But basically, Lich 1 is down on Neon Gray's side.
Meanwhile, Ragnarok fighting Lich 2, or sorry, Kraken 2 in Topher.
Ultras 2, I believe this is the fight in FF6 where you can lose an 11 hits. See, Lit 3 coming out, white shirt coming out.
And this is where you want that white shirt. See, I don't think we've seen. It looks like Ragnarok's fighter at 51 hit points. He's got to be worried about that one.
Very
I don't know
true.
what kind of healing they have, but I don't know if I've seen a Cure 4 out of Ragnarok yet.
I do not believe so, but they had started the round with a defense sword and 2 stacks of white shirt, so they are at 3 of 6 for max evade. 8 hits, could not see the damage, review that. Blizzard coming out. Quad X coming out, seeing if Sweet and gets it done.
Quad X, again, it's one of those spells you're not always going to use, but when you're looking for that Hail Mary play, Quad X is a great spell to use.
So Neon Gray picking up their TNT. We'll soon be getting their Oxyon hitting go mode. I do not remember what the stats are for the Fiends in the for this round. What they rolled on that one, but Tia 2 coming out. Nuke going for the defense sword. Fast coming out on that Knight. White sword coming out. Swing 170 some damage from Tia. Let's see, opting for another white shirt. Trying for Brack. Swing 3 hits. 3 damage. White shirt coming out again. Defense 2 coming out again, buffing that. Tia misses. Brack coming out. Ineffective. Swinging.
Oh, and Min the Mage. I didn't want to cut you off looking at this Tiamat fight, but Min the Mage just walked through Kraken 1. Min the Mage now has 4 orbs lit and getting ready for Topher.
Also, a couple locks coming out on Ragnarok's side, making it a lot easier for their fighter, their knight to hit Tia 2. Another lock coming out. Nuke coming out. 170 damage. Swing coming out. 8 hits. Not see that one. Tia 2 swinging, hitting down one of the red mages.
I think, as you were saying earlier, this is the consequence of not finding one of those endgame weapons. As Ragnarok barely doing any damage with his swords. Now Demon and RHK coming up to their carry 1 fight, looking to light their 4th orb. It looks like it's Ragnarok clearly ahead, but Min the Mage and Demon RHK are going to be neck and neck coming over.
And Ragnarok gets the Quad X off.
Oof, and Ragnarok getting hit by that post-Tiamat encounter, luckily enough is able to run away, and Ragnarok 784. thing to fight Chaos as our first runner to reach the final boss of the game.
So basically, since we're at a casino, to reach the showdown, the one-on-one, use heads up. So let's see some amazing heads-up play from Ragnarok 784.
I'm in RHK trying to finish up Nuke as we're waiting for Ragnarok to start that fight with Chaos and the Mage on his way to Tokyo.
And heads up. So let's see what Ragnarok decides to do. I see opting for some wall to start with, then follow it up with some fast on that night. Definitely starting off with the defense. The white shirt, Chaos opening up a fire 3 for a little bit of damage. Fast comes out onto that knight. Wall comes out. White shirt coming out, basically powering up, buffing up again.
And you can see a lot of the experience of Ragnarok taking his time. You're seeing him, he moved his party around, focusing on defense, and then you'll see him unleash offense all at once.
And Chaos is fast. Again, white shirt coming out on that one, buffing up the party again. Also throwing a temper on that knight. Opting to throw another temper on that knight. Temper being learnable by the Black Mage is huge on that one. Nuke coming out.
Coming out with 262. That's a lot for a nuke against Chaos.
And I know that temper is normally Black is learnable. Don't remember. I believe it would have been. Sorry, sorry on that one.
That's fine. And we do have bosses scaled to either 50% to 200%. We have no idea whether this Ragnarok this Chaos is paper or if this Chaos has twice the HP that it already has in the vanilla game.
Which would make it 4,000 if it rolled up to 200% at most.
And we're seeing Ragnarok use the last of his tempers, and we'll see if he switches over to Brack strats or if he continues to wail with that later.
Most likely just going to keep wailing and using as many spell charges as they have, and just keep going with that one. Ice 3 coming out for 80 some damage. Let's see, swing 2 hits. 3 coming out for Chaos.
Oof. And Ragnarok losing a light warrior.
Nuke coming out, swing with that one, 8 hits. And get your GG to the chat for Ragnarok 784, taking down Chaos around, I think it was what? If you have the SRL up.
I do not have the SRL up at the moment, but it's somewhere in the low 120 range. GG for Ragnarok 784. First fighter to wipe Chaos, and he will be joining our other first place finishers, DVS, Wildham, and Caleb in the next round. Meanwhile, Min the Mage, Demon RHK, both in Topher, Neon Gray, trying to finish up their final orb light against Kraken.
Do you want to see about trying to get Ragnarok to 784 here into the booth?
I'll reach out to Ragnarok, see if we can get him to join us.
While we're on that, Gray on their normal Kraken 1 fight, opting for some. Let's see that real quick. For Brack. Brack comes out. Ineffective. Swing 10 hits, over 700 damage. Brack comes out. Ineffective. Brack comes out. Ineffective. And on the Mage's side, taking down on their first Lich 2 fight, we know that Lich 2 had nuclear plus nuke, so this is going to be a tough one. Nuke taking out one of the light warriors, but 10 hits and a lot of damage takes down Lich 2. On the Gray's side, still attempting that Kraken 1, trying to keep with break. Brack, 10 hits, decent amount of damage. Brack ineffective again. Curing that red mage to make sure that they stay alive. Ew. Down to 1 light warrior, and on Min the Mage's side, off on that carry to ooh fight. Opting for the 4 strats, and ooh! Neon Gray taking a wipe, but Min the Mage getting through carry 2 real quick.
And it looks like we do have Ragnarok that has joined us in the booth. Ragnarok, do you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we
Ragnarok.
hear you fine. GG, Ragnarok.
Thank you, thank you.
So I saw at the end you were trying to find a better weapon.
Yeah, a little bit. Would have probably helped better to have something else other than an ice sword, but make do.
Do you want to know where the Massive Moon and what it rolled was?
Sure.
It was, I think, a -3, and it was with the mermaids.
It looks like it was a -4 in mermaids.
However, that was not the best in-game weapon that we saw. Max X-Cal in Earth.
Oh, wow.
It was second floor Earth, I believe the furthest, the one that's by the stairs, the upper part.
I believe it was on the way to Vampire, that first check there.
Was it the one that I completely skipped that was
Yep.
hit by a trap tile?
It looked like you were completely in go mode at that point.
Oh yeah, I was feeling a little behind with the I feel like constant wiping and constant resetting.
It seems like wipes have been a familiar thing for our runners in this particular seed. Oh, speaking of some speed bumps, talk about that Lich 2 fight.
Oh yeah. He made a speed bump out of me.
we were talking about running in to change Lich as a speed bump, showing the disrespect. I mean, he didn't appreciate that very much. It looks like.
No, not much. And I also tried to feed him cake too. He really did not want his cake.
Well, at the moment, we're seeing Min the Mage in Tiamat 2 and Demon RHK just running through Lich 2. And meanwhile, Neon Grey is heading up to finish lighting their 4th orb against Kraken.
Nice. Yeah, Topher was pretty rough. Lich basically KOing, good 80% of my party, so.
But you had that, Night with Life, which is all you need sometimes.
That was a veteran move right there, picking up life going into Topher.
Oh yeah. If my knight is able to learn life, I'm grabbing that because you never know, and this really shows why.
Absolutely.
Also add that around 1 hour 26 minutes, Neon Grey lights their 4th orb and will be headed onto Topher as well.
Min the Mage starting their Chaos fight. So let's take a look at what's happening here. Starting off with a fast, Chaos returning with a Fire 3. And I didn't get to see what that X-Cal did for damage.
It was at least 10 hits.
I saw 10 hits. I don't know how much it's dealing, though. And...
Guessing for S, Nuke coming out, couldn't see the damage. Nuke coming out, can't see the damage. Swinging on that one, 10 hits.
419. And out with that X-Cal +5.
Yeah, my ice sword's better. I'm just saying.
I mean, 5 hits for 6 damage. I mean, you could ask for more. Right?
Yeah, it took a few tempers to get that ice sword up.
Absolutely.
I think the blocks help as well.
And it looks like Min the Mage dealing out the damage, but the party definitely taking a hit when it comes to HP. One party member down already.
Quite a bit of HP. No, the rest of them didn't seem that much. Tia 2 seemed to have.
But Min the Maze gets chaos down around the 1 hour 27-minute mark.
Nice.
GG's from In the Mage. And Demon RHK also in Topher, finishing up their Crackman 2 fight. Neon Gray will be following shortly behind. We have looks like a 7-minute and 10-second difference between Ragnarok 784 and Min the Mage.
So, how many people went to Marsh without the canal that was up in Dwarf?
A big fat 0. A goose
Wow.
Every single one of you chose that dwarf check for becoming close to Marsh Cave.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm actually kind of glad to hear that. But whenever I went to Dwarf and saw the canals, like, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit ahead because I feel like others don't check it that often, and they're going to go to Marsh.
I'm a little bit surprised to see no marsh dives, but at the same time, it's nice to see all of our runners not have to deal with all of that.
Right.
Now, in terms of the bigger outlook for the tournament, we have Ragnarok 784 is going to be facing off against DVS, Wildham, and Caleb next week, and Min the Mage going to face off against Devios XX, Sir Link-A-Lot, and Dwight. We take a look at Demon RHK fighting Tia 2.
I've got to say, what do you think of your competition for next week, Ragnarok?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was asking, what do you think of your competition so far for next week?
I've already faced Wildham once. I've played against Caleb a lot. Both are very good players. DVS, I don't think I've actually played with DVS, so
I think we might have raced once or twice before, but nothing official.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to be a great race. No offense to anybody, but I do fear Caleb's abilities and his backpad ability there. He likes to run. Gotta fear those eggs.
I know you're all good runners.
But I do, or I will be definitely taking nobody for granted in those races because anything can happen. And everybody here is really good racers, so.
It's hard to look at this particular race and try to find one defining moment where it set each of the runners today in position 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's just all of you guys running a solid race, I think, and you just coming on out in front, being very consistent, moving forward up this race.
Thank you, appreciate that. Be practicing occasionally. Also trying to get online, help teach the ducks, the new ducklings, whenever. Also helps me out in going through all the motions. I think it helps me also to get my menuing down. Speaking of menuing, how bad was my menuing?
I mean, overall, it was an amazing race on that one.
Throughout the game, depending on what weapons you pick up. But in this particular seed, we set it so that heal pots are the very first thing in the menu. Making it easier to select the heal pots, but really does something against muscle memory.
Yes, and I think that got me a few times in the menuing. I'm actually surprised I didn't open the bottle like almost right away, like I had been doing.
I mean, it's one of the newer flags, from the beta site. I've got to ask, what do you think of it?
Personally, not much of a fan. Due to the fact that, I come from old school learning. Everything's at the bottom, so it's muscle muscle memory to go to the bottom for all your heal potions, your pure potions and softs, and all your tents or all your camping gear. So it's a real hard adjustment when you're not used to it.
And I'll add that around the 1 hour 32-minute mark, Demon RHK has taken down their chaos.
GG there, Demon. Good job.
And it looks like for our broadcast here, the top left and the top right screens are showing Neon Gray's feed as he finishes up Lich 2 and heads deeper and deeper into Topher. And definitely in chat, let's get those GGs out for Demon RHK taking third in this run. And again, it's hard to look at one thing and say, hey, this runner was completely out of their league, or this one move lost 10, 15 minutes. It seemed like a wipe here, a wipe there. It seemed like a adding up of a bunch of tiny little decisions. Is between first place and third place, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes between our first... I'm sorry, looked at the wrong one. 12 minutes between our first place finisher and our third place finisher. That's not a huge spread.
No, by no means necessary. I do believe that we have really good runners here, and everybody practices hard. They come out, they do their best, they show their best, and you're only going to get better.
And I don't know if we can get a hold of your fellow competitors, they'll get them into the booth or not. We're trying on that one. If you guys are in chat, you're welcome to join us up in the booth.
I'll ask in the SRO room if anybody.
Thank you, because I don't have it up.
Min has declined
Sadly.
the interview, just FYI.
Okay.
But it does look like Demon RHK has joined us here in the broadcast booth. Demon RHK, do you hear us?
I do.
GG's, man, GG's. So how about that seed?
Overall, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was a little back and forth here and there, and I went a little Flappy Bird at the start with a lack of usable magic, well, black magic. But shout out to Corneria selling Short Sword +5 to carry me through most of the seed.
That's definitely something, one of those things that you love seeing at the beginning of the seed. Was there something else that just kind of gave you a sigh of relief that you picked up at the beginning of the game?
Actually having white magic just early for the first time in like 7 or 8 seeds, because it's always white locked on my, because I don't run away. Just some various things. The whole thing where I bought the 1100 gold copper 3s and then stumbled across the 600 gold silver 3s was kind of funny.
It's one of those probably early game decisions that, you know, it's kind of hard to pass up armor at the beginning of the game, but to find something better and cheaper in the next town over, it's a little disappointing, but hopefully it didn't wear you down too much.
Oh, it wasn't bad. I almost got the ability to buy it back by selling the copper off. I was only like down an extra 100 gold, so it wasn't a complaint. I mean, all around you can call them like 800, 900 gold. The only real issue I had with the seed was the carry 1 fight, which got a little scary.
It seems like a lot of our runners had a hard time with that carry 1 fight. I want to say Min the Mage ended up diving 2 or 3 times down into Sea Shrine before finally, I believe, ended up just noping out of it for a little while and coming back to it late game.
I do have to ask, even though I do have to ask a demon, that Lich 2 fight.
What Lich 2 fight?
I
want to say you didn't get to enjoy the Lich 2 fight that Ragnarok got to experience.
Oh, was it bad?
And man, Lich 2 had nuclear and nuke.
Yeah. Good thing that I outsped Lich and just decided to X-Cal 5 him in the face for about 1100 damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get that good turn order. So he definitely just wiped the floor with all my party except for Glenn, left my fighter alive.
Well, at the same point, Rag, do you want to tell Dean what you were swinging at the time?
Oh yeah, I had nothing better than an ice -2 sword the entire game.
Ooh. Yeah, I the only reason I was really still opening chests past about midway through. Unfortunately, my life split broke, so I didn't have a timer going. But once I had finally got through carry and everything, the only reason I was still opening chests was looking for a sword, and it's like defense -2, not gonna get there. Eventually, I think I found the Xcal 5 out of Earth 3, and then a regular flame, flat out Flame 0.
Yeah, I actually checked that sword, ice 2, and it was actually just a little bit weaker than the ice -6.
And we do have Neon Gray heading into heading into their chaos fight. So Neon Gray, it looks like 2 fighters. Is that a ninja and a black mage that they're bringing with them? Coming out with a wall, a fast, and more walls. Really picking up that defense before trying to really finish off that chaos fight. And it looks like continuing to cast fast, defense, and it looks like it's paying off with just a small amount of damage coming from chaos. And it looks like they're going to just go with trying to wear chaos down one spell at a time.
I mean, this seed overall, you all put in a phenomenal job. I'll put in a phenomenal job on that one.
We were saying earlier, and that all 4 of you were in 4 completely different locations for probably 3/4 of the seed.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, and each decision ended up paying off in different respects. It's hard to know. Go ahead. I thought I had someone cutting me off, trying to chime in there, but with all 4 runners running all over the land, each of them getting different incentive items, leading them around. Again, just a great run by each of these runners.
Yeah, it was nice in a way because it was super linear up till you found the canoe, because it's like, okay, well, I've got nothing from King, nothing from okay, well, there's the floater, so where's the canoe at? And then you just kind of had to fetch out of the inner sea, then back into the inner sea, and then finally got your canoe, and then it was just really opened up from there.
Yeah, once the floater came, I knew it had to be real quick to come out due to the fact that we were running out of places with no key items to go anywhere.
I believe the 2 of you opted to go to an early volcano dive. Is there any particular decision behind diving volcano before anything else, or was it just that's just what felt right at the time?
Volcano doesn't need any key items to get down to the boss. Plus, in a flag set where you have no loose items, which is what I've been used to playing, having just started before spring tournament, I want to go to a dense location so I can just pick up everything real quick. And okay, here's a bunch of items, and now we go kill the boss.
I also add Neon Gray has got down their chaos fight as well.
And it looks like Neon Gray has also joined us here in the chat room. Neon Gray, how you feeling?
Honestly, I was very pokey, but I'm okay with that. I literally it's my first seed in like over a year or so. I'm okay with that, how that came out.
You did a very good job. What did you think of the since the last time you played? What do you think of the changes to the randomizer?
It's very interesting. Like and it is like especially the blurst items. Just being able just to take a bunch of Ender Swords and have it be pretty much most of what you need, so long as so long as you don't need them to be the one to actually do the damage to Chaos.
I mean, trust me, I still haven't wrapped my head around everything lurst on that one. But what did you think? You did pull the Excal 5 out of Earth, right?
No, there was.
Uh, basically, we saw a few things on that one. Massa was garbage today. Demon, do you want to explain how bad the mass was?
Did I pick it up? I didn't even remember finding the massa.
If you don't even remember finding the massa, that's kind of a sign in and of itself. I believe it was a massa -4 up in Mermaids.
Oh, I didn't even have to go to mermaids. I got to skip all mermaids completely.
Yeah, no, I didn't touch mermaids at all. Or, I mean, I've stopped checking boxes like basically as soon as I finished my grind.
And that's bringing up. I believe it was Min who was the only runner that ended up at Mermaids for that Massa Moon.
And ended up noping out of it after taking a wipe. Also, I have to ask, Leon, what did you think of your grind tile that you found in Hall of Giants? I think only you and Min were the ones to check that for the Gur Medusas.
I mean, I could have done better, but at that point, it was a kind of a trade-off between keeping looking and the green Medusas were plenty good to get me to a perfectly acceptable level. So.
It seems like for all of you, the seed wasn't a big. It wasn't the most difficult seed in the world. But what were some things that kind of surprised you or you weren't expecting with this seed? And let's start with Ragnarok. What hit you that was like, oh my gosh, and really shook you in the seed?
I think getting the airship and the floater fairly quick. I think it was right around 20-minute mark when I got in the air. It felt really, really rushed after that. I was really trying to figure out where to go, what to do with the key. That's one of the reasons why I stopped into Volcano. I was severely underleveled to where I was, so I was trying to find a decent spike tail in there. And whenever I ran into those mud goals, rock goals, ended up dying in that, and I just noped out. Went back in, got that ribbon up there in the armory, and then pretty much go moded. Or well, I left there and then I went elsewhere. And from there on, it was fairly smooth sailing.
But you, Demon, did you run into anything that really shook you in the seed?
Offhand, I actually have to echo Ragnarok's sentiments there. A lot of it was because you got so much access so early. I found myself in the air at like level 5. So it was just a matter of trying to take what little fights I could here and there. Thankfully, the white magic backed up being able to, even with a red mage, just be able to fight through everything. Like I ended up taking the Gershark Big Eye tile in ice, the bottom of ice. And even though the eyes had thunder and were just thundering down my black mage repeatedly, it's just like, okay, I've got like 6 casts of life too. Who cares? It was really poor early on the armor too. Like everything that you wanted or could use, you had to buy out of shops. The chests were just really sparse throughout about the first 3 quarters of the game.
Yeah, I think I rocked a silver bracelet probably half.
Sorry, you cut out there. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that the silver bracelets I pretty much rocked for probably about half the game before I found anything worth usable.
Neon Gray, how about you? But I mean, other than coming back to the randomizer and adapting to item shuffle and other changes, did anything in this seed really catch you for a loop?
Not really. Obviously I had to spend a bit more time checking my statuses that were ideal, just to see what the deal with various items were. But I mean, I very deliberately went with a party comp that is it doesn't care what is in the seed except for the spell selection. Otherwise, it's just the whole principle is keep a black belt up and run away from any fight that you don't want to fight. So, being in the air very early, that's ideal in a situation for that kind of party because it gives you the options of being able to check it far more tiles than you would be able to otherwise, and again, it's a comp that really lives or dies on the grind tiles, which Green Medusa's, level 2 Fire 2, that's plenty. That'll get the job done.
I'm always a fan of saying whatever gets the job done on that one. I've rocked black belts. I haven't rocked. Okay, I have rocked almost everything to chaos on that one. So all your party comps, I have to applaud you all for taking whatever you felt best with on this for this match.
Yeah, I mean, like boxes take time to open. And anything that lets you avoid boxes, the thief, it's a nice to have if they can get something decent, but in this specific comp, they are not there to carry. So it's not important if they get something like I use that flame sword I got out of validation, and it didn't matter that their non-criticals were only hitting for one each per hit.
I'd still just to shout out to all 4 of our runners today, having our first place time and our fourth place time separated by only 20 minutes. Really gives you a show of how I think it was just the culmination of small decisions that really made the difference in this particular race.
I blame Warbeck.
Yes, and Warbeck.
At least Warbeck wasn't unchained. It was just vanilla.
But he's so much more fun when he's unchained.
Yeah, except when he's literally the second encounter, literally after every step you take in the first 30 seconds of the game.
That's just good, clean fun.
I feel like that's a nice shout out for our Iron Gall tournaments, which I believe there's a round robin coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm still very unfamiliar with that. It seems like go ahead, Magius.
Basically, our Iron Gall is essentially the quote unquote Iron Gall. Pick up flag set, challenge someone. If they accept the challenge, throw down. There was a seed I posted a while back using alpha flags where, let's just put it this way: town shuffle, dungeon shuffle, spell shop shuffle, plus spell level shuffle. So basically, starting out the game, you had no magic. Although, yeah, Warmech was the second encounter on that one. Good luck.
Again, a big shout out to all of our runners, and to our 2 trackers, Jonathan Yoshi and Jay Scheidel, really on top of everything, and really provided for a great race today. So, any of our runners have any last minute thoughts or comments? Demon, let's start with you.
No, it's been good to get some more racing in here. I can't wait for the next couple rounds of this, and then the Duck Derby coming up in a few weeks. It's looking all to be a lot of fun here.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, just a quick shout out to everybody for all the hosting, comms, the restreamer, everybody that was able to get this up and running today on almost. There is a couple things that are coming up. You got the Duck Derbies coming up here shortly after the spring tournament. Iron Goal, it's going to be a new championship battle. The champion's going to make some flags. So we're all going to race and we're going to shake everything up. And
Spellshop doesn't win again.
and also with Silverfire, big thanks to them for bringing this into the little small tournament getting us up for this. So definitely big shout outs to them.
Neon Gray, go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you, Sil. The baby tournament for people who don't race so good. I am glad that there is a tournament for players like me. Fighters are overrated. Thieves are great. Zap is the best spell in the game.
And again, another shout out to Silverfire and organizing this tournament. And I believe the rules have been set so that everybody gets three full rounds at minimum before anyone is disqualified. So,
Well,
as you were saying, great opportunity for new runners to just get some races under their belt.
I'm not new. I'm just not very good.
oh, hey. At least you're not like me, who's literally been playing since the first tournament. I still get no respect, and yet I'm no duckling either.
Well, we are all looking forward to the second round of this Lich's Low Limit tournament starting up in the next couple days here. I'd say keep an eye out in Discord. And it sounded like Ragnarok. Were you trying to put something in right there?
Oh no.
Awesome. Well, Adrius, do you want to wrap us up then?
I guess thanks all for watching. If you're not with the Discord already, remember to join. Check out the Randomizer, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. I believe that's what the site is on that one. Also, if you enjoyed what you saw, please don't forget to follow our runners, Min the Mage, Neon Gray, Demon RHK, Ragnarok 784. If you feel like throwing a follow to myself, DVS, Jennifer Gibson, and I can't see the other one. Thanks to the stream at present, but basically everybody that helped with the production, even our restreamer, Dark Moon X. Basically, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you're interested in trying out the randomizer yourself, we have the site for that one. Also, if you're interested in learning more, check out the Discord, and the community's great about that one. You got anything?
Can't agree more. Just thank you to Dark Moon EX for restream, Jonathan Yoshi and Jay Scheidel for tracking, Magius and DVS on comms, and obviously our four runners, Neon Gray, Min the Mage, Dark Moon RHK, and Ragnarok 784. I think that's it for us.
Night all.